Guys, in the meantime, what you all have to do is just download one of the files, and the file is basically sample superstore. So sample superstore Excel. So this is a file that you all have to download from this website. So this is a data provided by the Tableau itself. So once you come onto this website over here, just click over here. You will find the link to that file, sample superstore. So all of you please download this file and load this data into your Tableau. Yeah, so sure, I think this is the link. Uh, so if you'll open this file, and this is what the data looks like. So you all have to load this data and just bring in the data of orders tab. So all of you please spend a minute to see what exactly the data looks like. So it is a very generic data that they have given related to a superstore. So I just want all of you to just have a look at it once. Yes, class, are you all able to access the file? Please let me know. Okay, sure, Aman, I'll wait. So all of you who have downloaded it, please take a look at it and then bring this data into the Tableau. So I will also be using Tableau Public today. So I think in the last session that we had, so my Tableau Public was not working properly. So right, Samir, we have three sheets over there, and right now we just want to consume the data from orders tab. So how do we connect to the data? We click on the Excel because my data is in the Excel file. I'll go to that folder where that file is placed. I'll pick that. And now we can see all the three sheets coming over here. So I just need to drag orders. Sure, Aditi, I'll just repeat that. So have you downloaded the file? So the file is downloaded. So now you click on Excel, right? So once your Tableau is opened up, so Tableau Public, you have to click on Microsoft Excel because our data source is in the Excel file. Select, go to that folder where that file is placed and just select it. Okay. So now what I will do is I will bring the order sheet over here and we can see the entire data over here in the Tableau environment. So once the data is loaded, you will be able to see that all the fields are coming over here, row ID, order date, and the data type is assigned to each of the column, right? So this is like date field. So we have a date icon. This is a character data. So we have ABC. But now over here, once you would have done, connected to this data, there is one more type of a new uh, data type that you will all see over here. And that data type is geographical data. You see there is a globe symbol over here. So country, city, state, postal code, all this information is geographical information. So Tableau is smart enough to read and identify such columns, and it is telling you that the data that we have in these fields, this is of a geographical nature. Okay. So the advantage of having a geographical data is, in this case, what you can do is you can actually create some interesting maps. So because when you create some maps, so you need latitudes and longitudes. And we have latitudes and longitudes only for the geographical data with us. Okay. So now once the data is over here, I will request all of you to create a chart. I would like to see which category had the highest sales. So click on the sheet one and create your chart. I would like to see which category had the highest sales. Okay, right, Prashant. So what chart have you created? So I will pick up the category and we have the column of sales. I'll bring the sales over here and right away what will happen is a bar chart will be created for me by the Tableau. And if I'll sort the data, so I will see technology is something that has the highest sales. Right? So if you all remember, we did some options over here. If you would like to change the color, you can change the color from here. If you want to change the size, you can do it from here. If you want to put some labels, so you can show mark labels and the labels can be showcased at the top of these charts over here. So these were quick options that we had in order to customize the chart. Now, what we'll do over here is, so anyone, any doubts up till here? Anything that is, if you are not able to create or having any challenges up to this point? Okay, so let's move ahead now. So now what we will do over here is, so you can put up a title for this chart as well. So double click on this and let us put up a title over here as sales by category. Okay, this is the title of my chart over here. Now what I'll do is I will just click on this icon new worksheet. If you will click on this, a new worksheet will be added over here into this Tableau file. Now what I would like to do over here is I would like to do a time series analysis. Okay, so I would like to do a time series analysis over here. So what do you think, what is time series analysis and what kind of time series analysis can be done on this data?
Time series analysis means that when we analyze or when we compare the data of 2 years, be it our company or the opponent's company.
Okay.
Yeah, like
So
when
time
we
series
want to
analysis,
see the growth over the time period, that is time period or like time series analysis.
correct. So it is not necessary that we compare with the two companies. I can compare my own data as well, like in comparison to the previous month. So am I having a higher sales this month or a lower sales this month? Correct. So right, like Mohsin, you have mentioned over here. So sales according to a certain duration. Correct. So what I can do is I would like to see that how was the sales that I was generating over a period of time. Now, see, time or a date is something which has a lot of used cases. So I can do an analysis on the basis of day-wise analysis. I can do an analysis on a monthly basis. I can do an analysis on the quarterly basis. And likewise, I can do it on the basis of yearly basis, right? So there are a lot of use cases that we can have on the basis of date field. So what I'll do now is, and now before I make a chart, so what is the best chart you should be creating when you have to do a time series analysis? What type of a chart we should use? Anyone who has any idea? No. So right, Aman, so it should be a line chart. Right, so line chart is something like if anyone, so all of you would have seen the COVID-19 tracker these days. So what you would have seen is they use a line chart in order to show you that how many number of cases you are having each day. If the line goes up, you understand that the number of cases were higher, and as the line goes down, you understand that the number of cases were decreasing. Correct? And in case if any one of you follows a stock market over there, also they use a lot of line charts. And if you remember, I had shown you a sample dashboard as well, where in the sample dashboard I had shown you we were comparing the month-on-month profit and month-on-month sales. One of the sample dashboard I had shown you. Over there, there was a line chart that we had used. So now Tableau is a smart tool. What the Tableau will do is it will be able to understand that if you are using any date field, okay, if you are using any date field to showcase the analysis, it will by default, it will create a line chart for you. So let us see it. I have my sales. I put my sales into the rows. I'll bring my order date and I'll put it into the columns. See, you see, this is the total sale of 2014, 15, 16, and 17. So there is a line chart that has been created automatically. See, I have not changed anything. In the previous case, by default, we got a bar chart. Now this time, by default, I have got a line chart. And if you would have seen, the chart that we have got over here is we have got on the basis of year. So I'll just explain you this. All of you, please first create this chart at your end. So Mohsin, that year will come by default. You will not have to do anything on that order date. You just have to drag the order date over there. The column name is order date. You just have to drag that field order date from here.
But sir, over here, I did not get one thing that like by selecting the order date, how come we are getting the result of total year? Like how come we are getting the result of years total? I meant.
Okay, I'll tell you. This was our data, correct? This is the column that we are using, order date over here. And let me do one thing. Just to make all of you understand, what I'm doing is, I have just created a copy of that column over here, correct? So this is the date and this is the sales. Basically, we have used these two fields. Now, like as I mentioned, now date is something which is very, very, it has a lot of use cases. So for example, if I extract the year from here, okay, if I extract the year from here, how will I do it? I will say year of order date and I'll apply it all across. So this was the order that was sold in 2016. This was sold in 2015. Likewise, I'm getting all the years over here. Similarly, if I dig out the month, so I can use a formula that is month over here. So month of this date. So I've got the months over here. Correct? Any doubts up till here? So I'm just trying to explain you by just creating the columns over here for you. Now, if I say that, okay, you guys have to give me what is the total sale I had in 2016, 2015, 2014. Can you give me that numbers? If I ask you that what is the total sales that we had in this across the years, will you be able to provide me that information? Right? So that is the same thing that has happened over here. So if I come back to this chart, it has extracted the years and added the data for 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay. Now the question comes in. So, because, there is a sort of a hierarchy if you see. Like, you have a hierarchy like country. Every country has states and every state has cities. Correct? That is the hierarchy that I have. Similarly, date is also a hierarchy. Every day belongs to a month and month belongs to a year. Right? So year is the topmost layer. We do not have anything above year. Am I right in saying that? Now, what Tableau has done is Tableau has picked up the highest hierarchy from there automatically. That in the date, we have the year as the topmost layer. Now, if you would like to see this analysis on the basis of month, you would like to see that, okay, in 2014, what was the sales in Jan 2014, Feb 2014, likewise up to December, and then starting again for January 15. So you will like to, have a more level of information in this. So what you need to do is just right click on this field. Okay, right click on this field. Do you see there are some options over here? Year, quarter, month, year, quarter, month. So right now it is showing on the basis of year. Let us select month from here. Let us select month from here. Okay. And you can see the chart has changed automatically. Now I'm getting a month overwritten over here. And the chart is showing me analysis on the basis of month. Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. So now what I've done is I've changed the chart at the month level now. So if I ask you guys, is this chart correct? Sorry. So sorry, Vishay, I couldn't get your point. We had sales up to 700K. So Mohsen, you say this chart is correct. Others, what do you feel? See, if you actually hover on this chart, right? So how I've changed it to month is, so let me do it again. This was the chart. I just right clicked over here on this field. So you can see year, quarter, month coming up over here. Right now the chart was at year level. I selected month from here. Okay, Jatin. So Jatin, your point is that the graph is for the year 2015. How to change the year, and is it possible to see the data for more than 1 year in the form of months? So how can you tell, how can you say, Jatin, that this data is for 2015?
Yes, sir.
This
While
data
you
is
select on drop
basically like,
down, there year is mentioned over there, 2015.
no,
Sorry?
no, this data is basically like in the month of January for the year 2014, 15, 16, what is the total? So
Correct.
this graph is
Correct.
showing that.
Yes. So basically, when you selected the month from here, so when you selected this, so you are referring to this what is written over here? No, this is just an example that is written across all the charts. It doesn't mean that it is showing the data. So if you will go by that, over here it is written May. So that means it should have shown me the data for only May only, right? No, but I've got all the
So,
months over here
so these 12 months are showing data for 4 years,
for all the 4 years.
all the
Correct?
4 years.
So yes, how is it showing? So if I extract the month, so now 11 means November, right? So 11 means November. So what has Tableau done now is it is considering that November is one entity, it is one item. So wherever November is coming, it has added up all the data for that November. So November was coming across all the 4 years. So it is giving me the overall total of November from all the 4 years. So that is what the chart is showing me. So do you think that chart gives me any information, or is it useful for me in any sort of an analysis? Right. So Samir, from this chart, we can actually make out like generally in which months we have high sales, right? And in which month we have low sales. But definitely still this is something that we were not looking out for. So if you right click again on this field, you will actually see the year quarter month is coming twice. Year quarter month is coming over here also. Year quarter month is coming over here also. Now the difference between these two is if you select year quarter month from here, it considers month as one category. May, all the Mays will be added up together. But if you select month from here, it will take year also into consideration. It will see, okay, this May is of 2015, this May is of 2016. So it will show them as separate numbers. Okay. So now if I select the month from here, my chart change. Now if I hover on this chart, it is telling me Jan 2014, Feb 2014, all the data of January month wise, and then I have all the data of all the months for 15. Correct? Is it making sense to all of you? Okay, perfect. All of you please make this chart. Have you all created the chart? Okay. See, I'm just telling you a small thing over here. If I ask you one thing, that how many points do we have on this chart? Can you tell me how many points do I have on this chart? Like this is 1 point, this is another point. So how many total points do we have on this chart? Just give me 1 moment. Just let me plug in the charger. Okay, so most of you are saying 60, Prashant is saying 48, right? So 60, you might would have thought, it is a year data of 5 years, probably, right? But data is of 4 years. Okay, but still, there is a possibility, correct? There is a possibility that, say, suppose for a particular month, the data was missing. It can happen. So suppose in my file itself, I didn't have the data of, say, suppose March 2016. That data was missing. So how will you get to know that how many points do I have? So if you will take a look over here on this, bottom left corner, it gives you a number 48 marks, that there are 48 points that you have on this chart over here. Okay, so this is the way you can actually verify that thing. If you will go to the previous chart, how many points do I have on this chart? 3. So you see 3 is written over here because we have 3 bars over here. 1, 2, and 3. So the tableau itself gives you that how many marks do you have on your chart over here. Okay, is it making sense to all of you? Yes, Samir. So basically, these the marks are the data points that you have on the chart. So absolutely right. So how many points do you have over here? So it will always show you that marks over here. Now, all of you, please change the color of this line. Can you all change the color of the line to orange? Just try that. I just want to show you. So if I change it, so I can change the color of the line. Now we will do something extra over here on this chart. Now say suppose this chart that we have created, this chart is showing me overall sales, right? It is irrespective of the category or region or anything, right? We are not considering anything irrespective of the regions and all. We have quickly what we have done is we have seen, okay, what is the overall sales in each month that we had. Correct? This is what we have done over here. Now, what my requirement is, I basically want to see that on month basis, which category, how the different categories were behaving, right? So if I want to see, okay, if I talk of furniture category, how was the trend month on month for furniture? How was the trend for technology month on month? How was the trend for office supplies, right? We have three categories: office supplies, furniture, and technology. I would like to see the trend for the three categories over here on this chart. So my first question should be that how do you expect that chart to be visible over here? How do you visualize that chart, that how it should look like? So without first making it, first let's just visualize into our mind that what should be over here that can serve your purpose. You should be able to see that, okay, which category was behaving how on a month on month basis, which category was having high sales on a month on month basis as compared to the others. So how do you visualize that chart in the back of your mind? Right, Samir. So colored line graph, right? So if I say, suppose this is the line of, say suppose this is the line of one category, I bring, I make another line over here, like so that is something going like this. Okay, if the chart, second chart is going like this, and I have the third line that goes like this. Will you be able to compare that thing? Will you be able to justify that? That says, suppose this line is for furniture, this is for technology, and this is for category. Will you be able to compare the three categories and see the trend? Yes, class. Will you be able to do it? So, right. So how we will
Sir,
achieve that is, hello?
Hanji, sir, can you please be little slow? Like when you are explaining, please give us time to do it on our screen as well. Can you please do like that? Because like we are switching our screen, so either I'm missing your content or either I'm unable to practice that simultaneously. So can you please be little slow or please give us the time for doing the same?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Actually, I was waiting for that. Right now, I was just explaining. So there was nothing that we did. So there was
Okay.
nothing to do over here. I was just explaining the stuff.
Okay, because like I'm not getting the same x-axis, and then I have to, ask you again and again that how did you do that? How did you do that? Because I'm switching the screen and then I'm not able to see anything.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your point.
No, I'm just saying that please
Uh-huh.
go a little slow and just give us a little time to do that thing. That's it.
No. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vishal, you are saying, but this will work for limited variation. So what do we understand by that? I mean, so limited variation as in, Okay. So see, definitely, if you say we have only 3 categories, you are saying we will get 3 lines. If suppose I have 10 categories, so we will get 10 lines. Correct? That is how the chart will come up. One line or one color for each of the category. Okay. Right, Vishal, so you are right in that sense, and that is what something that we will be coming to that how we can manage that as well, right? But the best way would be that only, right? Because I want to analyze something on the basis of time, plus I want to see it or analyze it across the different categories that we have. So what I can do now is, if you will see, color we were using as of now for just changing the colors, correct? This is something that we were using over here to change the colors. Now, all these fields that we have used over here, right? So all these options that I have shown you over here. Now the columns from here, from the left hand side, they can also be dropped over here on this pane. Okay, so if you pick up the category, you can drop it onto the color. Okay, so if you will pick the category onto the color, your chart will break up on the basis of color now. Now, if you see now, what I've done is I have simply dragged and dropped the category onto the color. And the moment we do that, what now happen is my chart has broken up into 3 aspects. Correct? So if you see over here now, you can see 3 categories and the 3 colors over here, right? So you can see the 3 categories and the 3 colors over here, and each color is representing one line on this chart. So from this, I can actually make out that, okay, red color means technology. So this is how the trend was. Blue color means the furniture. So I can understand this is how the trend was. And then I can start doing my analysis over here in terms of understanding that how the things look like. Correct? So what I've done over here is, so in this case, over here, my chart was previously looking like this. So what you all have to do is simply pick up the field of category and drop it onto the color. So right, Vishay, so that this chart is for 2 variables. So in fact, this is for 3 variables, correct? One is date field, the time series. Second is the sales. And the third is your category on which you are also differentiating your chart over here. So Samir, are you referring to this color legend on this right hand side? I think you have turned on your show me. Is the view looking like this in your case? Just click on that show me that is written over there. The moment you will click on that, it will close and you will be able to see that a legend. So basically we call this as a legend. Okay, so the right terminology for that would be the color legends. Yes, Gaurav. So you can give the color as per your requirement as well. Now, how do we do that? So if you just recollect from that past thing, how we were changing the color of the line, we were clicking on the color and we were changing the colors. And now because you have already dragged a field of category onto the color, now Tableau will automatically understand that if you will click on color now, it will give you edit colors. So you click on edit colors. So it will show you all the 3 categories and you can pick the desired color for your category like this. For office supplies, you want this color. For technology, and it is not that this is the limited colors. You have a lot of color palettes over here. So you can pick any color palette and choose the color according to your own needs and requirement. Okay. Are you all able to make it? Anyone having any struggling somewhere over here in order to achieve this chart? Okay. So Vishay, now coming back to your point, right? So like Vishay, you mentioned a very good point over here, right? And that point that you mentioned was that if you make a lot of lines, it will become tough to recognize and identify that data, right? So this is what your point was. And this can be clearly seen on this chart as well. I just have three categories in my data: furniture, office supplies, and technology. And still these lines are so much overlapping on one another that it will become really challenging for me to understand which line is going where. Correct? This is what we see on this chart. It is looking a little jumbled up if I take a look at this chart. Okay, so now what you all have to do is, just to make this thing much more clear to all of you, add one more sheet over here in your file. Okay, now what you will do is, over here in this chart, what you all have to do is you have to create a time series analysis for the subcategories. I would like to see the time series analysis for all the subcategories that we have in the data. All of you please create this chart. So you are saying in order date, if I want to make a graph for 12 months and the year should be represented by on the so for each line you want to, for each year you want to showcase a different line. Is this what you are saying? So that means if you have 4 years of data, you
Actually,
want four.
yeah, hi sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Actually, I
Okay.
misspelled it here. Actually, I want to like in order date variable, we have years like 2013, 14, 15, and so on. So I
Correct.
want a graph like uh, my x-axis should be like up to 12 months only, and the
Okay.
years uh, years graph should be like in colored line. I want to see uh, a colored
4 lines.
line graph for every month, individually with different colors.
So basically, so let me just make sure what you're saying. So you have the sales over here. So what I'll do is I'll pick up the order date. I have my order date over here and I have my sales over here. So you want to showcase for the month level. So you have all the 12 months over here, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then what you want is you want a separate line for each year. That is what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Over this only.
Huh? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Vishay. So I'm not able to get the last part that you're saying.
I'm saying that now this is the graph of like 12 months. Now,
Hmm.
suppose this is a graph for like 2014 year. For
Huh.
2015 year, uh,
Hmm.
the color of the line should be different, and that should represent the 12 months graph of that particular year.
Got it. Right, right. So you want 4 years,
Yeah.
4 lines. So simply
Yes,
pick
sir.
up the order date, and put it onto the color. This is what you are referring to?
Yeah, sir. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
each year is representing a different color over here, and the data is automatically broken up for 4 years
Yeah,
and month
exactly.
on month. So
Okay.
this is Jan 2014, this is December or Jan 15, likewise.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Vandana, you're saying I am getting two variables on x-axis like May and November month of 2014 and 15 year. Uh, I mean, you are referring to this chart, right? The previous one that we were creating up till over here. You are on this chart right now? Yes. Can you share your screen, Vanna? Is it possible so that I can just, I'm not able to make out like what exactly is happening. If you can just share your screen, I'll just quickly help you out. Shall I make you the presenter? And in the meantime, others, you please try the question and do a time series analysis for different subcategories. Okay, so I've made you the presenter. Please share your screen. Vanna, are you sharing your screen? Right. You can unmute yourself, you can speak so that it will be better communication in that case. See, first of all, do one thing. Right click on that show me icon. On the top right, click on that show me icon and close that. Correct. Just click on that show me on the top right. Yes. Now tell me what is the problem that you're having.
So here month I'm getting month 2000 May 2014 and November 2014. But in your case, you are getting the same year.
So you are saying that okay, you are saying that I am getting the to be written as year over here on the chart. So on the x-axis, in your case, it is written the May 2015 and likewise, correct? This is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
See, this is something, that totally depends upon the resolution of that system. Okay, this is more like the resolution that how the data comes up onto your screen. So it could be a little different as well. Sometimes you might feel that, like on the axis, the range is looking a little different. That is all because of that resolution of that screen. So it is not about that basically that something is going wrong over there. Okay. So this is why this this month is come. Can you make me the presenter, please, so that I can share my screen?
Yes, sir. Can you please guide me?
So first of all, click. No, don't. Now come over here. At the top, participants 19, correct? Where is written 19? Yes. Click on that icon. People, yes. Right click against my name. Just right click on this. Make presenter. Yeah. Okay. So now coming back to this, has anyone created the chart for the subcategories? It's a similar chart, right? So what we need to do is we need to bring the order date. So we need to bring the order date over here. I will bring the sales over here. Now what I'll do is I will just change this to month level. So I can see the month on month analysis. Now what I will do is I will be bringing the subcategory. I'll bring the subcategory and put it onto the color. Right. So we get a very nice looking chart over here. Can you all make out what is happening over here? How the things are happening? So if I ask how the things are happening for machines subcategory, can anyone tell me Like how the things are happening, how the things are going up and down. Okay, so Agadi, you got a more decent graph. Okay. So, I mean, see, definitely the behavior, I mean, the look and feel will be the same, right? Nothing much would have been different over here. So technically the things should be the same, right? So definitely you cannot make out anything over it, because why? Because we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, approximately like 12, 13 subcategories. So that means there are 12 to 13 lines that are, crossing each other at different intervals and different points of time. That is what is happening. See, one way of analyzing the chart over here is, the one way of doing this analysis over here is that if you select any of the subcategory, see, if you just select any of the subcategory from here, from the color legend, it just highlights that and other ones gray out. Can you see it? So if I'm selecting only one of them, only one is getting highlighted, all the others are going grayed out. So if you want to do that, you can do it. If you want to select two of them, say suppose you want to compare copiers and phones. So press Control and select phones also. So those two lines will be highlighted and the other ones are kind of grayed out, right? Only these two are now visible. Others are kind of grayed out over here. So this makes a little more convenient if I see, but still, still the options, I mean, are not so much easy to analyze the stuff. Now that is where the other interesting feature of Tableau comes into the play, and that is the filters. Okay, so what we will be doing now over here is we will be using the concept of filters over here. What is a filter? The filter is something that you would have studied in a lot of other tools as well. You would have studied the filter in the dplyr package again, right? You filter out the data and you see that respective data out of it. Correct? Yes. So setting a limit. Okay, so you can say setting a limit, or I can also say filter out means, when I say something that specifically I want to pick up something from that data that I have, right? So if suppose I have red balls and green balls, I am saying filter out the green balls. So that means you want to take the green balls out of that box. That is what we understand by the term filter. Now the same is the concept that you have of the filters over here in the Tableau as well. You see there is a section of filters over here. Now what you will do is pick up the subcategory and put it into the filters. Okay, so I'll show you again. So all of you just try it out at your end. Pick the subcategory, drop it into the filters. So this dialog box will come onto your screen. All of you please try this, and so tell me if you all are able to see this dialog box. So Prashant, you just have to click on subcategory and you want to have to drag and drop it in the filters over here. Getting it? Okay. See now, this is like a, select and unselect option. If I say none, let me select only accessories, chairs, and labels. So first of all of you please just follow with me. Do not do it at your end. Just take a look at it for a while with me. So what I've done is I just taken 3 of these subcategories over here. If I click apply and OK, now what you will notice is this chart is showing me only those 3 categories those 3 subcategories that I have checked over there in that dialog box. Correct? I selected these 3: accessories, chairs, and labels. Only these 3 are available. Now what I do is I right click over here again and I'll say edit the filter. I want to make some editing to it. I am now saying I do not want to see all these 3. I want to see some other categories now. I want to see copiers, I want to see fasteners, I want to see supplies. So I've selected those 3 over here. And now the data is being showcased to me for those 3 subcategories that I've now selected. Correct? So I can see those 3 subcategories coming over here. Definitely, this is much more convenient because there is no problem of graying out as well. Everything is clear and I can see only that data that I want to see over here. Okay, so I can see only that data which is relevant to my used case over here now. Okay. So all of you please just try this now again at your end. So you already, all of you had this filter with you. So just try these steps, bring the subcategory and make your selection as per what do you want to see in the data. Just make those selections. Okay. So now, every time if you have to make that change, don't you think it is a tedious process? You are going edit filter and then making the selection, apply, okay, and then you see it. So this process is little tedious over here if you try to see at it. Now, what I will do is I can right click on that filter. Okay, right click on this field. You just say show filter. The moment you will say show filter, everything will be visible on your screen itself. You will say all will be visible. You select appliances, bookcases, phones, tables, whatever you select, the things are showcased over here on this chart. Are you able to achieve it all? So just try it out and let me know if anyone has any troubles or challenges.
So just once for the last step, I kind of missed it. Subcategory.
Right click over here
Yes.
and say show filter. So you will get the filter to be coming on the right hand side. So you can make your selections whatever you want. See, this is the kind of a filter you all would have seen when you do some online shopping, right? When you do online shopping, over there, have you all seen that filter option that comes up onto your screen? Like you have a lot of options over there. For example, which brand do you want to see the shoes of? So you check box them. You want to see the shoes of Adidas, Nike, Reebok. You make that selection, and when you apply it, only those brand of shoes are visible to you, right? You all would have tried this out on any of the Flipkart, Amazon website. You select your filters from there. That is exactly how this is working over here as well. So you select your subcategory and selected subcategories are visible on this chart. Correct? Now, so Samir, in order to export it, see, one is if you will be using a Tableau licensed software, right? This is a public software. In the Tableau public, what happen is if you want to export it, if you remember, we saw this thing in the previous session as well. You have to save this file and you will have to publish this file on the Tableau public. And over there, you get the option from where you can download the image, the data, the Tableau file, anything that you want. From there, you can download that, export this chart in the PDF file format or the PowerPoint and all, right? If you will, I will show you that step again. But in case if you are using Tableau public, right, that is the licensed software. Now this is the licensed software that I have opened up over here parallelly as well. So in this over here, it is much more easier, right? If you will go to that file, I'll bring this file over here. To export the chart in the Tableau Public is very smooth. So see, everything is same, nothing is changing, right? As of now, if you see all the things that you will see now, this is I'm doing in the license software. So the chart that I made was order date, and the sales. This was on the basis of month, and I brought the subcategories over here, right? So I have this subcategory over here. If you just right click on this, in the case of license software, you just have to click on copy. I want to copy the image. If I say copy the image, it will tell me what do you want to, how do you want to copy. I want to copy the title of the chart. I want to copy the color legend. I want to copy the view. View means the chart, and I'll click copy over here. See, if I'll open any of the Excel and all, I just have to do Control V. So whatever, wherever you want to use it, you will be able to do that. Why the chart is not coming? Here it is, right? See, I've got that same chart. I've pasted it into the Excel file. Can you see it? So this is very easy, very smooth in case of the public, the license software. But in the case of Tableau Public, you will have to first save this file, publish this onto the Tableau Public server, and from there you will be able to download it. Right, Vishal. So first you will save it, and then you will go to your public portal, and from there you will be able to download that image if you want. Okay, are you all clear on this filter? Are you all clear on this filter part? Okay. See, now Tableau provides you a lot of features where what you can do is you can also customize this feature or this filter. You can customize the filter also, right? If you all would remember, right, there are two kind of filters. One is called as multi-select, another is called as single select. Okay, like when you go to any of the website, okay, so sorry, so Akriti, your question is download in licensed. So in the license, there is nothing. What you have to do is this is the license software, this is the same chart that I have. So what I want to do is, I say suppose I want to copy and paste this chart into my PowerPoint, or I want to copy and paste this chart into my Word file or anywhere. So just right click on this chart, right? You will get an option of copy. So you have this option. What do you want to copy? You want to copy the cross tab, data, or image. So that is it. If you click on image, it will copy this chart. Okay. See, you all would have gone to the some websites where you might have filled up the form, right? Over there, what happen is, you see, you get that option of gender. In the gender, what they do is, there is a drop down. It says male or female. You can only select one out of it, correct? You can either select male or you can select female. You can only select one value. Similarly, if suppose there is a field of education, in the education you have a multi-select option that you can select multiple educations as well, right? For example, many people are, they have done a lot of courses, so you can select multiple values from there. Now, similarly, the filter over here is of two types. One is single select, another is multi-select. So nothing to worry much on this. You just have to click on this little arrow. If you just click on this little arrow over here, it will open and it will give you the different variety of options with the help of which you can actually change the look and feel of the filter that you have. So these are the options that you will have to use. So if you will see, these single value list, single value drop down, these are the options that you will have to use. So right, Aman, just like the checkbox and the buttons that you have. If I click radio buttons, right? So single value list, if I click on this, see, I can select single value. Single value means I can only select one value at a time. I cannot select multiple values. Getting it? And similarly, you can have a single value drop down. Drop down means you will get a drop down over here and you can select the value from here. All of you will just see it once and then you can just try this option at your end. The moment I'll just show you these options. Okay, it's single, just a option selection and you have to see that effect. If I say single value slider, see it comes like a slider over here now, right? You can slide over here. Similarly, now you have multiple value list, the default that we were getting. I have a list of all the option. I can select whatever I want, but I have now multi-select. Multiple values drop down, a drop down will open, and again I can select multiple values now. Correct? So now please all of you try and explore these options at your end and let me know if you have any challenge in terms of doing this. Yes, class, are you able to do it? Anyone having any doubts? Shall I move ahead? No. See, now this filter that I have applied, now it is not necessary that you can apply only one filter. You can apply more than one filter also. Okay, say suppose I bring the category also into this. Now bring the field of category also over here. Okay, now drag the, so all of you please just watch it for a moment, then you just try it at your end. Okay, now what I've done is I am saying use all, apply and OK. Right, what I've done is I have brought the category and subcategory both. So do you think that there will be some relationship between category and subcategory? Do you think there will be any relationship between these two fields? This class? Maybe. So definitely it is a yes, right? Because why? See, this is again a how the data is structured. So if you just go back to that Excel file, okay, if you come back to this Excel file, you can see it from here. And a general sense, what happens is you are given a category, subcategory, and product name. These are the fields that are given to you. So like whenever you go to that Flipkart website or you go to the Amazon website, what happens over there? First of all, you select your category, whether you want to go into the electronics or you want to go into the fashion. Say suppose you want to shop for something electronic. Now that is the highest category. That once you select electronics, say suppose you wanted to buy a mobile phone. So mobile phone is an electronic item. So first of all, what will happen is you will go to the electronics. Under electronics, there will be a lot of other subcategories, right? Like washing machine, television, microwave, mobile phones. And when you select mobile phones, in that mobile phone, there will be a lot of products. there will be a iPhone, there will be a Oppo phone, there will be a Samsung phone. So there will be a lot of phones that you will have. So that is exactly what that category, subcategory, and a product name means. Making sense? Just try to understand it from the data perspective. So in the same fashion, we have the data over here. Now in every category, there will be some subcategories, correct? So for example, if I say, let us select furniture. In the furniture, which all subcategories do I have? I have bookcases, chair, furnishings, tables. If I select office supplies, in office supplies, I have appliances, art, binder, envelope, fasteners, labels, paper, etc. So every category has some subcategories into it. Okay. Now I have added the category also over here. Let me say show filter. Now I can see the category and I can see the subcategory. Making sense to all of you what I'm doing? Please write down to try it. First of all, please understand it from the the view perspective, and then you can try it at your end. I'll show you how we are doing it. So now if you will see, let me come back to the subcategory. Let me select all. I am selecting all over here. Okay. From the category, I am saying I only want to see the data for furniture. So now what happened is all the subcategories that are the part of furniture, only those subcategories are shown to me. If I select technology, all the subcategories that are part of technology, only they are visible to me. If I select office supplies, all the subcategories that are part of office supplies, they are visible to me. Is it making sense to all of you? What we have done over here on the chart? And it is just about understanding of the data and just portraying that same thing onto this Tableau tool over here. All of you, please let me know if you are able to make it or if you want me to explain it again. Done, Mohsin? Getting the idea? Is it clear what we have done? So Samir, in the chart, nothing has changed, right? In the chart, if you will see on the chart, I am showing month and the sales and the subcategories. Chart is the same, but I am just filtering out that what I want to see in this view and what I don't, right? So this is what we are doing in this case. So when I was not having a category, over here, see, when I'm not having a category in this, let me remove this category from here. I'm getting all the subcategories. When I'm selecting from the filter, I have to select the subcategory individually, correct? Right, Samir? So I'm selecting my subcategories one by one. Now I know that some categories belong to furniture, some categories belong to office supplies, some categories belong to technology. Is this clear to you? That how some categories are part of different categories? Right. So what I am doing is I am bringing the category over here. I am saying use all subcategories. See, you can say use all, or you can select all the values from here. That is the same thing, correct? Whatever you feel like, you can do anything. Now, if I say show filter, now on this chart, what do I have? I have subcategories. I say I want to see the subcategories of furniture. Now, all the subcategories that are part of furniture, they are visible. If I say I want to see all the subcategories of office supplies, they are visible. Is it making sense now? Yeah. So like, you can assume it like a country. So if I say over here, I had states, all the states that we have in the entire world, all the states of India, Pakistan, US, all the states. So instead of selecting state, I am saying show me the states of India. So only the states of India will be visible. If I am selecting Pakistan, it will show me the states of Pakistan only, right? So this is exactly what we are doing over here as well. So Akriti, you are saying the chart is not unable to get the category dialog box. See, so that will come up. You have to right click on that. Right click on the category and say show filter. Then it will come up and you will be able to see it. You just have to do that. Okay. So now it is visible. Is this clear to all? So what we'll do now is let us take a quick short break over here and then let's just start after this. Okay. So we'll start at 6:40. So around 8 minutes of break. I hope that would be fine. Okay. So let me use W only to give write that up. Hello, yes class, shall we start? Okay, so anyone, any doubts up till here? Anything that you would like to ask? See, now what I'm coming doing is, this is the category filter that we applied, right? One was category, another one was subcategory. Now what I will do over here is, say suppose I select all. Okay, I have selected all the categories and all the subcategories. Okay, just pay attention over here now. Now this is something very important as well. Now if I select only the furniture, okay, when I've selected only the furniture, I see all the subcategories that belong to furniture category. Correct? This is what I'm getting, that these are all the subcategories of furniture category. Now if I come back, say suppose out of these subcategories also I want to select a particular subcategory, right? There are like there are like 4 subcategories right now under the furniture. I want to see the data only for bookcases. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to the subcategory and I'll click on this. But something that I see now over here is I'm getting all the subcategories over here. Don't you think that these two filters should be linked to each other? That if you select furniture, in the subcategory also you should see only the subcategories that belong to furniture. That will be easier to understand, because right now you are getting all the subcategories listed down. Although on the chart you can see only the subcategories of furniture, but in the filter you are still getting a complete list. So you might get a little confused that which are the subcategories of furniture. So you might not be able to interpret that right away. So you will have to go 2-step ways. In that case, you will say, okay, these are the subcategories. You will have to kind of memorize them, that, okay, bookcases, chairs, and furnishings. So you will say, I want to see the data for only bookcases, chairs, and furnishing, right? So that is a little bit of a tedious task that you will have to go through in order to select those particular subcategories of furniture. What I will do now is, over here on the subcategory filter, if you click on this drop down where you selected this style of that, over there you will have an option of, one is all values in the database and another is only relevant values. All values is something that is by default. That means it will show you all the subcategories. If you will say you only want to see the relevant values, what does that mean is, now it will show you only the subcategories of a selection that you have made. Okay, see now if I select I uncheck furniture, I select office supplies. Wait a minute, because I made the selections. Let me just select all. I am saying I want to see the data for office supplies. So these are 6 or 7 subcategories that we have in the office supplies. If I will click on this filter, see, I just get the subcategories of office supplies. If I select technology also, I will get the subcategories of office supplies and technology. If I select only technology, I get the subcategory of only technology over here. Okay, now somehow what I've done is I have linked or interlinked these two filters to one another, so that I do not get all the values. In the next filter also I get the filters values which are relevant to the previous filter that I have selected. Correct? Making sense to all of you? Okay, now please try this. So you can attempt, just go on to the subcategory and select only the relevant values from there. That's it. Okay, so you have to select only the relevant values over here in this filter. So Aditi, you want me to explain the logic, or you want me to explain the step, like how you do it? But understand that logic as well, right? Like what we are doing exactly.
So,
Yes.
sir, just one thing. Sir, जो columns में months है, तो हमें मतलब we are getting two options, right? तो हमें कौन सा वाला select करना है? Can you just tell me once again?
Over here,
Yes, sir.
see, when you select year, quarter, and month from any of these above boxes, just see them as two boxes. One box over here, another one box over here. Okay. So if you will select year, quarter, or month from here, from this box, what will happen in that case is Tableau will not consider the year in that case. I mean, if suppose you have 5 years of a data, so if I select quarter from here, so Tableau will assume you just have 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So if you will say Q1, it will show you the complete data of all the 5 years in Q1. Then all the Q2 data of all the 5 years in one category. But if you select the quarter from here, it will say, okay, 2010 Q1, 2010 Q2, 2010 Q3, 4, and then 2011 Q1, 2012 Q1. So every year, every quarter will be considered as separately. So this is the most of the cases we will be using the quarter month from the below box. Very rarely you will be using it from here. Okay. So is it clear, Mosi? Okay. So all of you please try this out and let me know if I can move ahead. Okay, so Akriti, you've done it. Others, are we all good? Any? Okay. See, now what I will do over here is this filter that we have applied, right? These filters that we have applied over here. Now what is happening is these filters are only working on this sheet, right? If I make select or deselect any of the thing, this filter is not impacting my other sheets over here, right? These filters are not impacting anything on the other charts, correct? Because it is not linked to any of these sheets right now. Now what I will do over here is, see again, you just please all of you follow it once, see it once, then you can try it at your end. On the category, I am right clicking over here. I right click on my category. I get an option of apply to worksheets. Okay, apply to worksheet means on which all sheets do you want to apply this filter. So by default, the option that I get over here is that is only this worksheet. That means this filter of category is working only on this chart. If you change your filter, only this chart will be impacted. But now if I come over here and I say, I want to apply this filter on the selected worksheets. So I have selected worksheets. Now I'm saying that if I select any of the category over here, the filter effect should also be applied on sheet 1. Okay, I am saying that this filter should also work on sheet 1 also. So let us see that. If I clicked OK, right now I have selected all the 3 categories. If I'll go to the sheet 1, I can see all the 3 categories: technology, furniture, and office supplies. And you can see the filter has come up over here also automatically. The filter has come up over here. I didn't apply it over here. I just modified my settings on the sheet 3. If I select only furniture, on the sheet 1 also, it will show you the data for furniture only. So one filter is working on 2 sheets. Correct? I go back to the sheet 3. I select office supplies also. On the sheet 1 also, now it will show me the data for furniture and office supplies. Now that filter is working on 2 sheets. Making sense to all of you what we are doing? So one filter working on more than 1 sheet. So we are interconnecting that filter to the various sheets that we have over here. So now all of you please try this out. Right click on the category, apply to worksheets, say selected worksheets. So if you select sheet 1, it will work on this sheet 3 and sheet 1. If you select sheet 2 also, sheet 4 also, it will work on all the 4 sheets. Are you all able to do it? Okay. Perfect. So now let's explore another option also. If you right click on this, there is one more option, that is all using this data source. Okay. So what does this mean? Let us understand it. All using this data source. That means from whichever source this category field is coming. What is the data source of this category field? Can anyone tell me? What is the source of data of category field? Can you tell me what is the source? The data source for this category field? Sheet 1, right? Orders. The name of the sheet was orders, right? So if you see, this is where we were working on data source. The orders was the sheet that we had used. So this orders is the data source for this, correct? So now we are saying is that any chart that is created from this orders tab, any chart that is created from the orders worksheet, on that worksheet the filter should be automatically applied. So let us see what do I exactly mean by that. Now let me add a new sheet. Okay, I'm adding a new sheet over here. I just added a new sheet, and on the sheet 3, let me change its setting. I am saying apply to worksheet all using this data source. See, the symbol has changed. You are getting a small this cylinder type of an icon. Let me tell you what exactly this is. See, this sheet is blank. Okay, this sheet is blank right now. So now the moment I will bring any field over here, see, the moment I bring any field, filter comes automatically. Now that means if I'll select, see, what is the total sale? Total sale is coming as 14,61,000. 14,61,000. On the filter, I'll select technology. I have selected all the 3 categories. My sales value has increased. It has become 22 lakhs now, because now it is showing me the data for all the 3 categories. And when I'm selecting, changing anything over here, the data is also getting impacted on that sheet 5 as well. Okay, class? So please try this out. Class, is this clear? Okay, so now what we'll do is let us move ahead onto this. So this is how you play around with the filters. Okay, this is how you work with the filters over here now. Now what I will do over here is, let me come to the sheet 5. So I'm just telling you a little bit of a shortcut over here. Okay, so see, I already have some fields over here. Sales is over here, right? If you want to clear this sheet, clear the sheet means you want to remove all the fields from here. You just click on this icon, clear the sheet. It will remove everything from this sheet. You don't see anything now, right? The sheet is cleared off. This is a small icon for that, clearing the sheet. Now what I will do over here is, now I will be showing you how do we create a map. So on what kind of a data can I create a map? What type of a data on what sort of data can I create the maps? Can anyone tell me? So if you have to create a map, we need to have a geographical data, right? We need to have geographical data for that, countries, states, or cities, whatever. So I need to have something geographical with me, only then I can have a map with me. So now we know that our data source have some geographical data. We have state, we have postal code, and we have country, we have city, right? So these are all the geographical data. So now what happen is, in your data, if in your data you have some geographical fields, right, like country, state, and city, what Tableau does is Tableau will automatically generate the latitudes and longitudes for you. So what Tableau will do is it will generate for country, state, and city. Now, why are these required? Because on the basis of latitudes and longitudes, what happen is you can plot a location, right? So like when you use Ola or Uber app, right? What happens over there? When you put your location, when you say use my location, so what that map does is it picks up your latitudes and longitudes. And by that, it is able to identify that where exactly you are right now. Correct? Now the same thing you have over here. So you don't need to use them. You do not need to use them anywhere. See, how will I use it? These two fields will be used in the backend. This will be used in the backend by the Tableau by its own. So how do we use? So how do I create a map? I will pick up my country and drop it inside this chart. Just pick up the country and drop it over here. You see, a map is created. And what Tableau has done is latitudes and longitudes and latitudes, they are automatically coming in the columns and the rows. Correct? How many countries do I have in the data? So from this chart, can you tell me how many countries do I have? 1, right? I can see that one country over here, and plus it is written 1 mark as well. That means there is only 1 point that we have on this map right now. Now say suppose I want to see the states also. I want to see all the states that we have in the United States. All the states basically that we have in the data, right? From which all states the shopping was done. So if you want to show the state also, pick up the column of state and drop it in the middle. That's it. Now I have country and state both. So Akriti, how have you done it? What you have to do is bring the country first, drag the country over here. You should be able to see 1 point. Just first of all, clear of this sheet, bring country and in the middle. Okay. Are you able to get it or still having some challenges? Okay. Now similarly, drag the state, pick up the state and put it in the center. So you will get country and states, both of them. So how many states do we have in the data? How many states do we have in this data that is provided to us? 48. Correct. Right. So we have 40 states of data with us in this chart right now. Now I have plotted the states. So what exactly should I do now, right? I can see the states over here, but definitely, I would like to see some analysis. Say, for example, I would like to see how much sales I had across the different states, correct? How much sale I had in Minnesota, how much sale I had in Colorado, how much sale I had in New Mexico. Likewise, I would like to see the sales that I had across the different states. And the chart should be so much intuitive, right? The chart should be so much intuitive that by looking at the chart itself, you should be able to tell that which state had the highest sales, correct? That is why we use visualizations, because the idea is that we should be able to do the analysis quickly. So what I can do now is I will pick up my sales and put it onto the size. Just pick up the sale and put it onto the size. All of you please do it. Pick up the sales and drop it on the sides. So can you tell me which state had the highest sales? New York? No, California, right? Prashant is right. So that is the California. If you see over here, the bubble of California is bigger as compared to New York. Definitely New York is the second highest, but not the highest. Right? And so what we see is bigger the circle, higher the sales. Smaller the circle, smaller the sales. This is what the chart is showing me. Right, class? So actually the number of points are actually showcased over here on the bottom left. Okay, so you have 48 marks over here. Okay. So now, you might have a question that, okay, Amit, some bubbles are barely visible, right? You might think that, some bubbles are, Akriti, that could be due to the point of, can anyone tell me why Akriti is getting 49 points and we are seeing 48 marks over here on my chart? No. Country, see, it basically shows you all the points that we have on this chart. Right, Akriti? That is because of that category selection, right? I am just showing the data for furniture right now. Maybe you have selected the entire data. So if I select all of them and come back to this chart, so now I am also having 49, right? So that was the main point, because there was a filter that I had of furniture. That is why my states were coming a little less. Okay. Now, the question could be that, Amit, there are certain bubbles that are very small. We are not able to even see it, right? If you see over here on Oregon, this bubble is so small that it is barely visible, right? And this can actually impact the overall view of this chart, right? So if you see, many of them are very small, which are not, it is really tough for me to see. So what you can do is you can click on the size again and increase the size. If you will increase the size of the bubbles will increase proportionally. Getting it? Bigger become more bigger, smaller becomes little more bigger, right? Now the the bubbles are a lot more visible if I compare it with the before of that, right? So now if I increase it further, now these bubbles are a lot more visible to me, and they're a lot more comparable as well, right? So if I say the Arizona and the Nevada that you have, see, the Arizona is, we can see from it is quite bigger from Nevada, and Nevada is bigger from the Utah, right? Utah is bigger from Idaho, right? So I can easily make out Idaho is smaller than Montana, so I can make that out. Which state had high sales, which state had lower sales. Clear to all? Gaurav, reference as in, can you just give me a little more elaboration about your question?
Sir, suppose these are the states where we would like to increase our sales much as compared to the other, or we can say that these are the more relevant states where we need to focus more. So if I would like to mark them as my priority list, so can we do it on this?
See, as such, you will not be able to mark it. Okay, but what you can do is you can write some annotations. What is annotations on this chart? If you feel that California has a huge potential, so what you can do is just right click over here and you have an option of annotate, and you can say mark. Okay, now over here what you can do is, say suppose you write it high potential state. Oops, seconds. Annotate. Sorry. Yeah, by default I clicked on cancel. See, so I just written this high potential state over here. You can just move this also if you want. You can just move it a little up here and there. So you can write something like this if you want, right? So this is the only way that you can achieve it. If you want to write something, you want to just reduce down the size and like this. So this is one way that you can write it, but as such you will not be able to highlight it. Or
Sir,
what
I
else?
think this is remove the name of the state.
No, it is there.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Right. So now all of you do one thing. Make one more map over here. Add a new sheet and make a one more map. Just show me country and state. All of you, first of all, make a chart over here to showcase the country and the state. Right, so you have the country and the state. Now do one thing, this time do not drag the sales on the size. This time drag the sales on the color. And then tell me, how do you interpret that chart? Okay, you have to drag the sales not on the size, but on the color. Right? So if you just drag it, so right, Aman, dark color means high sale, light color means lower sale. Correct. So what we do is, I drag the sales onto the color. So still I get 49 marks, 49 states. So I have a small legend also. If you see, it is looking like a color saturation bar. Light color means low sale, dark color means high sale. So by looking at the chart, see, California has the darkest blue color, has the high sales. Then New York, and likewise you can see the color impact over here now, and you can come to a point and you can say, okay, which state had high state and which state had lower state. And do not worry if you have a question to your mind that, okay, Amit, can we change the colors? Yes, you can. Again, click on the color, edit colors, and you have variety of colors options to choose from. Okay, you can choose any color scheme that you want, and according to that, the legend will be provided. Higher the sales, darker the red. Lower the sales, darker the blue. And as it is getting pink, you can see that it is going on the lower side, and as it is getting darker and darker blue, that means it is getting low and low. Making sense? So you can change the colors if you want, right? Color palettes. We have variety of color palettes over here, and you can use any one of them, whatever you feel is the best for your the color representation. मानसी का फोन आ रहा है. Yes, Sunil, you're using your screen. See, that is so. What are you saying? You are not getting it. Maybe you might would have used some darker color scheme. That could be one reason. Just try to use a little bit of a lighter shade. So then you will be able to see it. Okay, still not getting it? Okay, don't worry. See, basically, what happened is, in the map, there are some other options as well, which we can use for formatting purpose. Okay, so click on the map at the top, click on the map, and then click on map layers. Okay, click on the map and click on map layers. Click on, just do this. There are some options that will come up on your left hand side. You will see some options coming up, map layers. So first of all, what you can do from here is, you can change the color scheme. See, if you select normal, it looks like this. You select dark, the chart looks like, the background map looks like this. Okay, you select outdoors, the map looks like this. So these are some color schemes. And then over here, you have some map layers. That layer means that on this map, what all stuff do you want to see? I want to see the base stuff, terrain, the state and province names. So please check that if all these options are checked or are they unchecked. If they are unchecked, that could be a reason that you are not getting those names coming over here. See, if I'll also remove them, I will also, you will see the information is going. You see, I'm not getting the names now. If I click over here, I get the names now. Right, Samir, are you able to do this? You just have to check these options. Might be they are unchecked in your case, so that is why you are not able to see those names.
So can you just once show how to reach this background? I couldn't.
So click on map and then click on map layers. Can you see it now? So from here you can change the look and feel, and you can decide. Layer means what all layers do you want to see, right? So if suppose I do not want to see the water labels, you see there's this Gulf of Mexico and the blue area, these are all water labels, right? So if I uncheck them, see my water labels are not visible now. If I check them, it shows me the water labels. So I can just select what I want to showcase and what I don't. Base, if you uncheck the base, the behind the scenes stuff is not coming to you. Terrains are not coming. If you remove each and everything, the chart will come completely as blank. It doesn't show you anything over here, right? So you can just customize it based upon your requirement. Clear to all? And then just close that box so that you can see the data pane again. Okay, you had a small cross icon, just close that, and that menu option will go away. Okay. So now what I will do is anyone any specific doubts or queries up till here? So this is these names. This is what you're referring, like Wyoming is written, Montana is written. This is what
So
you're
matlab,
referring to.
yes sir, I cannot see it on my own. I have to go and check the box, matlab, the state, then I'll be able to see it.
There is the default setting. So just check it on. Next time you will see it, right? You will just click on the map layers, check that down. So next time you will another map you will create, automatically you will get that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now if you see over here, right? So now on this chart, I have put up sales on the color, correct? I have put the sales on the color. Have I kept anything on the size? Do I have anything on the size right now? On this chart, do I have anything on the size? No, right? So that means my size is still available. I can actually use this also if I want to add some more information on the chart. Okay, now what I want to do is on this map, I want to show sales also. I want to show sales also, and I want to show profit also, right? Because I have the field of profit with me as well. So what I will do is I will pick up the profit and put it onto the size. Okay, I will put my profit on the size. Do you see something? Just first of all of you drag the profit on the size. Can anyone explain me this chart? Yes, class. Anyone who would like to take an opportunity to explain this chart? Okay, right, Akriti. That means more sales.
Sir, higher the sales, higher the profit.
Huh? No.
So the bigger the dot, the higher the profit.
Correct. And darker the red, higher the sales.
Higher the sales.
Right. So if I just take a look, I pick any of the bubble, I will be able to see it over here, right? If I see over here, this profit is into the negatives, but the sale bubble is still very big, right? No, Gaurav, you cannot say that higher the sales and higher the profit. We do not know that it is, we have nowhere established that both these two, fields are, directly proportional to each other. I cannot say that. Getting it? If I just highlight this something over here, if you see over here, so this is, let me just show you some instance for that. I will have to use some other color for that, because on the side what we are doing is we are putting the profit. So basically this chart tells me that if the bubble is big, that means the profit is there, and if the color is darker, that means the sale was higher, right? If suppose at any point in time, if you see that there is a bubble that is very big in size, sorry, it's very dark in red, but its size is very small, right? So that will mean that the sale was high, but the profit that was generated was not that great enough over there, right? That is something that you will understand from the chart. It can happen, right? You can have a bubble which is dark in red, but the size is small. So what will happen in that means you will understand, okay, the sale was high, but the profit was not that high. Correct? You see now over here, so bigger bubble, I mean, this is again similarly in the similar lines only. So right, if you just see on these two bubbles right now, getting it? See, the bubbles are almost quite similar to size in the size, right? These two look very much nearby, but the sales are very much different, right? If you see over here, 5,000, 4,000, and this is 35,000. Do you see it? Over here, if you see, it is still darker in that shade. It is lighter in that shade. And over here, we can see that the sale is extremely high, but the profit was not that great. Okay, so now we have made some charts, right? If you remember from the previous session, we discussed something about the key parameters on the basis of which we distinguish the chart, correct? Over we discussed about size, color, proximity, and shape. Remember, these were the 4 parameters that we discussed. On the base, using these parameters, we try to explain how what chart is telling us. Okay, so that taking that into the consideration, so now what we have done is, if you see over here, I have made a couple of charts over here, right? I have made a couple of charts. Now what I would like to do is, all these charts are coming in different sheets. And what was a dashboard? Does anyone remember the definition of a dashboard that we discussed in the previous session that we had? Anyone of you who remembers the definition of a dashboard?
A way to we can simply show the data we have, a representation of data
In one single screen.
on one
Complete
single
analysis,
screen.
right? Business of your into one single screen. But if
So
I see
regarding,
right,
I had the same question regarding that. Can we not have like a display on the side कि मतलब this मतलब can we not मतलब जैसे state and उसके compare में profit, मतलब can we not get a scale like that?
scale as in I'm not getting your point.
मतलब सर स्टेट के साइड में मतलब जैसे 3 मतलब स्टेट प्रॉफिट सेल्स एंड प्रॉफिट ऐसे करके we can't we do that?
टेबल बोल रहे हो क्या?
through,
फिर टेबल
yes
टेबल
sir,
बन
yes
जाएगा
sir,
आपका, टेबल बन जाएगा आपका। देखो
through
यहाँ पे
this.
हाँ, यहीं से बन जाएगा आपका। देखो यहाँ पे शो मी का ऑप्शन होता है। ओके, show me means आपने जो चार्ट क्रिएट किया है, right? So all of you please, although I have to come to this, I can just tell you right now also, it is not that tough. Show me means अभी देखो, अभी तक आपने जो भी हमने चार्ट क्रिएट किया है, राइट, ये चार्ट आपके बाय डिफॉल्ट बने थे। यहाँ पे हमने लाइन चार्ट क्रिएट किया, ये बाय डिफॉल्ट लाइन चार्ट बना था, मैंने कुछ सिलेक्ट नहीं किया। जब मैंने यहाँ बार चार्ट बनाया था तब ये बाय डिफॉल्ट बार चार्ट बना था, मैंने कुछ चेंज नहीं किया था इसमें। एंड सेम हैपेंड इन द मैप। सो व्हेन आई ड्रैग्ड माय कंट्री, स्टेट एंड सिटी, तो टैब्ल्यू ऑटोमेटिकली क्रिएटेड अ मैप फॉर मी। और आपने हर केस में देखा होगा, सो टैब्ल्यू वाज वेरी मच एप्ट। उसने जो चार्ट बनाकर दिया मेरे को, दैट वाज मोर लाइक जो मुझे देखना था। आई वाज एबल टू सी दैट कि हाँ यार ये मेरा एनालिसिस मेरे को सही तरीके से दिख भी रहा है। नाउ स्टिल इफ यू फील कि बॉस दिस इज नॉट व्हाट आई वांट, मुझे तो अलग टाइप का चार्ट चाहिए, सो व्हाट यू डू इज यू क्लिक ऑन शो मी। अंडर द शो मी यू विल फाइंड लॉट ऑफ चार्ट ऑप्शंस, राइट? इफ यू वांट टू कन्वर्ट दिस चार्ट ओवर हियर दैट यू सी ऑन द स्क्रीन into any other different chart, तो आपके पास ये ऑप्शन है। अभी ये मैप है, मैप तो बना ही हुआ है, इसलिए ये हाईलाइटेड है। फॉर्मेट में आ गया कि आपको स्टेट का नाम दिख रहा है, प्रॉफिट और सेल्स दिख रहा है। आपने इसको बबल चार्ट में कन्वर्ट किया तो बबल्स बन गए। जिस कंट्री का बड़ा बबल है मतलब बड़ी सेल, और कलर बेसिकली साइज मतलब प्रॉफिट है। बिग बबल मींस बिग प्रॉफिट, डार्क कलर मींस हाई सेल। तो वही चीज जो मैप में आई थी, बिल्कुल वही इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पे आ गई, बस मैप नहीं आ रहा, बबल्स आ रहे हैं सिर्फ आपके पास। गेटिंग इट? So you can change and decide what type of a chart do you want to showcase. I hope this answers your question, Mohsin. Okay. Now what I will be doing over here is, we will be doing the last step of today's session. And that is, how do we create a dashboard, right? Right now, if you will see, all my charts on different sheets. हर sheet पे मेरा एक chart है। अब ये मुझे सारे चार्ट एक साथ देखने हैं, तो how will I see it? Just click over here. You have an option of new dashboard. You see यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन था शीट ऐड करने का, यहाँ पे अलग से ऑप्शन आ रहा है डैशबोर्ड ऐड करने का। अब आप इस पे क्लिक करो न्यू डैशबोर्ड पे, जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दैट न्यू डैशबोर्ड। तो इस तरीके से आपका एक व्यू खुल जाएगा आपके पास। Are you all able to see this new dashboard? Okay. Yeah, so I think this is like the last thing that we are doing, not a much of a stuff. आप लोगों ने शायद एक्चुअली ये भी हो गया, you guys are in the habit of 4 2-hour sessions, so that is why I think you know, you have kind of, जैसे वो घड़ी में 2 घंटे दिखते हैं, you like okay, our capacity is done. Generally, like you know, we have 4-hour session also, so over there the people जब उनके 4 घंटे आते हैं तो वो 4 घंटे के बाद बोलते हैं सर अब और नहीं हो पा रहा है। अगर हमारा 15 मिनट भी एक्सटेंड हो जाता है, they are like, you know, now we cannot, you know, this is something like how we kind of train your brain, train our brains as well, that you know after 2 hours we have to stop working on this. Okay, any which ways, I mean still I will just be showing you quick stuff over here. अब देखो डैशबोर्ड में क्या होता है आपके पास, you will not have sheet, you will not have columns over here, fields over here on this side. यहाँ पे सिर्फ आपको sheets दिखेंगी, and this is just like dragging and dropping the sheets. अब मैं यहाँ पे sheet 1 को ड्रैग करता हूँ, तो पहला चार्ट दिख गया जो मैंने शीट 1 पे क्रिएट किया था, सेम चार्ट अब मेरा यहाँ पे आ रहा है डैशबोर्ड पे। Simply drag and drop, right? Everything is dragging and dropping, nothing more than that. Okay. Just try it out. Just drag your first sheet. Now, अगर आपको लगता है कि यार स्पेस थोड़ी कम लग रही है आपको, नथिंग टू वरी, यू कैन इंक्रीज द साइज. साइज से आप यहाँ से इसकी क्या कहते हैं अपनी विड्थ बढ़ा सकते हो. यहाँ से यू कैन इंक्रीज द विड्थ, सो यू विल हैव मोर स्पेस. अब यहाँ से आप दूसरा चार्ट पकड़ो और उसको होवर करो. देखो जहां पे आप उसको होवर करोगे, जहां पर ये ग्रे एरिया आ रहा है, वेरेवर यू सी दिस ग्रे एरिया, वो चार्ट वहां पर प्लेस हो जाएगा. ठीक है. अगर मैं इसको यहाँ रखता हूँ नीचे, तो ये चार्ट नीचे आ जाएगा. यू सी दिस इज द फर्स्ट चार्ट, दिस इज द सेकंड चार्ट. एंड सिमिलरली अब अपना थर्ड चार्ट पिक करो, मैप. उस मैप को जहां पे भी रखोगे वो मैप वहां पे आ जाएगा. अकॉर्डिंगली you can see this map over here now. Right class? So now there are a lot of options to do formatting. वो अभी हम नहीं करेंगे, right? So in the interest of time and the capacity of everyone, right? So we'll take a pause over here. So there are a lot of formatting. आपको you can make it beautiful. Titles डाल सकते हो, headers डाल सकते हो, background के colors change कर सकते हो, कंपनी के logos लगा सकते हो, images ला सकते हो. There is a lot of stuff that can be done. फिर हम इसको इंटरलिंक भी करेंगे. बेसिकली एक्शन फिल्टर्स बोलते हैं उसे, राइट? बेसिकली जैसे आपने अगर टेक्नोलॉजी पे क्लिक किया तो सारे चार्ट आपको उस टेक्नोलॉजी के बेसिस पे एनालिसिस दिखाना स्टार्ट कर देंगे. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी विल डू इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन नाउ. सो मोहसिन, इफ यू वांट टू रिमूव अ चार्ट, उस चार्ट को सिलेक्ट करो. ठीक है. सिलेक्ट दैट चार्ट, उस चार्ट पे आप क्लिक करोगे, देखो यहाँ पे ना क्लोज का ऑप्शन आ जाएगा, क्रॉस का साइन आ जाएगा. आप इस पे क्लिक करोगे तो चार्ट हट जाएगा. ठीक है. फिर आप कोई और चार्ट लेकर आना है तो वही सेम चीज, जैसे जैसे आप उसको होवर करोगे, जहां पे आप उसको प्लेस करोगे वो चार्ट वहीं पे आ जाएगा. यू हैव टू डिसाइड वेयर डू यू वांट टू कीप इट. दैट इज इट. Sorry, Vishay, your question is how did you categorize the subcategory options according to the category? Are you talking about these three bars? This is what you are asking? This one? Okay, so what's the question? बेसिकली हमने यहाँ पर क्या किया था कि हमने यहाँ दो फिल्टर लगा दिए थे, एक कैटेगरी का और एक सब कैटेगरी का, राइट?
हेलो, या हाय सर. सो एक्चुअली यहाँ पे आपने फर्नीचर में सब कैटेगरीज में जब हम ऑल पे क्लिक कर रहे थे तो वो सिर्फ फर्नीचर्स के लिए सब कैटेगरी शो करेगा. आई मिस दैट पार्ट.
हाँ, तो उसमें आप क्या करोगे, देखो आपको क्या करना है, बस अपना सब कैटेगरी पे आओ. ठीक है. सब कैटेगरी पे क्लिक करोगे, यहाँ पे ये एरो है जहां से आप अपना फिल्टर सिलेक्ट कर रहे थे कि कैसा दिखना चाहिए आपका फिल्टर, ड्रॉप डाउन आना चाहिए, शेडर आना चाहिए. यहाँ पे दो ऑप्शन है, ओनली रेलिवेंट वैल्यूज और ऑल वैल्यूज. जब बाय डिफॉल्ट आपका ऑल वैल्यूज होता है, देखो ऑल वैल्यूज के केस में अगर मैंने फर्नीचर सिलेक्ट किया तो भी वो सारी कैटेगरीज दिखाएगा. ठीक है. और अगर मैंने ऑफिस सप्लाई सिलेक्ट किया तो भी सारी सब कैटेगरीज दिखाएगा. लेकिन अगर मैं इसमें कह दूंगा मुझे सब नहीं देखना है, मुझे सिर्फ रेलिवेंट डेटा देखना है. रेलिवेंट मीन्स जो मैंने ऊपर सिलेक्ट कर लिया उससे रिलेटेड डेटा ही नीचे आएगा. अब देखो ये सिर्फ ऑफिस सप्लाईज की सब कैटेगरीज दिखा रहा है. अगर मैं फर्नीचर कर देता हूँ इसको तो ये फर्नीचर की दिखाएगा आपको सिर्फ. 4 तो 4 आ गई. ठीक है. ओके. Okay, so class, I think this is where we'll take a pause for today, and you have an exercise as well. मैंने आप लोगों के साथ लिंक शेयर किया था गूगल ड्राइव का, करेक्ट? वहां पे देखो आपके पास टैब्लू का भी फोल्डर है एक. If you all will go to that Google Drive, so there is already a folder of the Tableau as well. Let me just show you. Right, जो आपके साथ मैंने आरी मार्टिस का लिंक शेयर किया हुआ है, उसमें देखो टैब्लू का भी फोल्डर है. Go to the Tableau folder ओके, यहाँ पे व्हाट विल यू फाइंड ओवर हेयर नाउ इज, एक तो आपको अगर कोई एक बुक रेफर करनी है अगर आपको, तो एक बहुत मैंने इंटरेस्टिंग सी बुक यहाँ पर रखी हुई है, और W10 कुक बुक, बहुत इजी टू गो बुक है ये। बेसिकली इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, इट इज मोर लाइक हर चीज को समझाने के लिए, लाइक लेट मी शो यू, लेट मी जस्ट ओपन इट अप, राइट, द पीपल हु रियली वांट टू एक्सप्लोर इट, डू सम मोर सेल्फ स्टडी। बहुत इजी तरीके से ना इन्होंने एक एक चार्ट के बारे में बताया हुआ है, और बड़े बड़े स्क्रीनशॉट्स ही हैं बस इसमें, ठीक है, कि ये ऑप्शन यहाँ पे मिलेगा आपको और ये ऑप्शन यहाँ पे मिलेगा आपको, तो आप इसको क्विकली गो थ्रू कर सकते हो। 300-400 पेजेस की बुक है ये, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको इसमें लिखा लिखा थ्योरी नहीं है, इसमें सारी चीजें देखो आप, यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ स्क्रीनशॉट्स है कि ये चार्ट कैसे बनता है, वो चार्ट, थोड़ी सी उसके बारे में आपको थ्योरी दे दी, बाकी उसको लिख दिया कि नीचे वो कैसे बनेगा आपका चार्ट। दिस इज व्हाट दैट बुक इज, राइट। सो इफ यू वांट टू रेफर टू इट, इसमें कई जगहों पे आपको जो डेटा सेट यूज करने हैं उसके लिंक्स इस बुक में ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइडेड हैं कि वो डेटा सेट आप कहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। सो यू कैन गो टू दैट लिंक, डाउनलोड द डेटा सेट एंड डू दैट स्टफ बाय योरसेल्फ। इट्स